Hi everyone, the purpose of this quick video is to explain this question that came up in the topic 2 review. We also discussed it for those of you in high level at the beginning of high level time, but remember this is something everyone does need to know. So, outline the model of electron configuration deduced from the hydrogen line spectrum, parentheses Bohr model. Your first question is probably what are they talking about? Outline the model, and then they tell you later on they mean Bohr's model. So they're basically saying, describe Bohr's models, and they're telling you Bohr came up with his model by looking at the emission spectrum of hydrogen. All right, so what does a Bohr model look like? Well, in a Bohr model, you have a nucleus, you have electrons in energy levels. I'm going to make this look a little nicer. Let's do this. You have electrons in energy levels. Okay. I'll just draw it like this. Thanks for your patience there. I was trying to make perfect circles, but it's okay. I'm going to draw these pretty far apart, and then as we get to, as we get to higher energy levels, I'm going to put the energy levels closer together. Okay. So I can notice two things from Bohr's model. One, Bohr chose to make his energy levels these really discrete amounts of energy. I could picture another situation in which Bohr had described electron energy with a nucleus in the middle, and then kind of a whole area of electrons, right? Being, for example, n equals 1. This is not what he said. Bohr made discrete energy levels. He said that n equals 1, the first energy level, is at one specific energy. That's supported by the reason that he did that is because he saw in the emission spectrum of hydrogen, when hydrogen jumps to a higher energy level, it needs a really specific amount of energy. And of course, in emission, we're not really seeing the jumping, we're seeing the electron relaxing, but we're seeing that this only happens at really specific amounts of energy. It's not that I have a whole range of energies that the electron emitted when it was falling. It emits discrete amounts of energy. So you see discrete amounts of energy here, and that's why Bohr drew his model with these discrete amounts of energy here. And so discrete energy levels, Bohr came up with this idea that at n equals 1, there's one energy that corresponds to n equals 1 by looking at hydrogen. We know, of course, that it's more complicated than that because of s and p orbitals, and so we know that Bohr's model is not fully accurate, but that's not really what the question is getting at. The question really just wants us to outline how did Bohr come up with his ideas by looking at hydrogen line emission spectrum. The other thing, and we don't draw this very often because we don't draw Bohr diagrams for really big atoms, but Bohr also saw that energy levels converge. Energy levels converge. So if you were to draw a really big Bohr diagram, what you would see is that the energy levels are closer together in higher energy levels than at lower energy levels. And he saw that, he came up with that idea because he looked at the emission of hydrogen. He saw that at the higher energies, I know that the purple color corresponds to higher energy if I know my EMR spectrum. At higher energies, I also see the energy levels converging. All right, I hope that helps. The idea, of course, is to conceptually understand this, but also know this is one 2-point question out of everything you could possibly see in the IB. And so we kind of reach a point where you need to just kind of know this is what they're looking for if they ask a question like this. If they're asking, how does emission or absorption support Bohr's model, or how did Bohr's model, how did it arise based on emission or hydrogen? Discrete energy levels converge. All right, I hope that helps. Have a good night. Bye.